Hello, my dear viewers. Welcome back to our YouTube channel once again. And today we shall finish Act-1, Scene-2 of Julius season. We have been reading this scene since long. We have already made 5 parts to read out this full act, this full scene, and now this is the last part, part 6 of this scene. But if you have missed the first parts, the previous parts, you can see the video from our description box. So let us begin. So in the previous portion we read that Casca was pulled by Brutus and Cassius, and he explained that what nonsense, what foolish incident took place in the feast of Lupercal. Julius Caesar was offered the coronate. He refused to take that, and the common people, they shouted, they cheered by the name of Julius Caesar. They were so happy, and Casca was so annoyed with all this incident, and that is what he started to explain to Brutus and Cassius. So let's see what happens next. Brutus: and after that he came thus sad way. Oh, really? So that is the reason. That's the reason he looked so sad. He looked so sad because he came back after all these things had happened, after he refused to take the coronate, and he realized that people do not want him as the king, and that is the reason he looked so sad. Casca replied with yes. Casca said, yes, you are right. Cassius: did Cicero say anything? Now Cassius asked Casca that Cicero was also present there. So did Cicero say anything? Let me inform you viewers that Cicero is an honorable person, is a respected person of Rome. He is a well-educated person. He is a well-educated person, and also a senator of Rome by profession. So Cassius asked Casca that was Cicero also present in the scenario, and did he say anything? Casca: aye, he spoke Greek. Casca replies, yes, he spoke, but I could not understand anything because he was speaking Greek. Here, spoke Greek means spoke in the language that was not understandable for me. Cassius: to what effect? The Cassius asked, really? So, did you really not understand what he said? Casca: nay, and I tell you that I will ne'er look you face again. But those that understand him smiled at one another and shook their heads. Casca replied, no, I told you that I could not understand. I could not understand what Cicero was saying. But those people who understood the language of Cicero, they looked at the face of each other and they shook their heads. They smiled at each other while they were shaking their heads. But for mine own part, it was Greek to me. But for me, it was ununderstandable. I could not understand. I could tell you more news too. Okay, leave this matter. I have some more information to give you. Casca says that I have some more information to give you. Marullus and Fabius, for pulling scarves of Caesar's images, are put to silence. Fare you well. So he says, he gives information that, do you remember Fabius and Marullus, the two Roman inspectors whom we read in Act 1, Scene 1, they were put to death. Casca is giving them information that they are put to death because they were destroying the decoration to honor Caesar. Some decorations were there in the streets of Rome. Some statues of Julius Caesar was decorated, and Marillus and Flavius, they were pulling scarves of the idol of Julius Caesar. They were destroying the decoration. That's the reason they were put to silence, means they were killed. There are more foolery yet, if I could remember it. Casca says, but there were some more fooleries. The action that Julius Caesar did not accept the coronate. Apart from that, there were some more fooleries, and I do not remember all of them. I do not have interest, and I do not remember too. Cassius, will you sup with me tonight, Casca? Now, Cassius is inviting Casca, and he is saying, would you like to have dinner tonight with me? Here, sup means dinner. Casca, no, I am promised forth. Casca replies, no, I have already promised someone. I am already committed, and I will go somewhere else. Cassius, will you dine with me tomorrow? Cassius. So Cassius is saying, okay, if you have already committed, then let's make a plan for tomorrow. Would you like to come tomorrow? Would you take your supper with me tomorrow? Casca, if I be alive. So Casca says, yes, I would like, but for that, if I stay alive, then I would come for dinner to your house, and your mind hold, and if you still wish to invite me, and your dinner worth the eating, and it is also one of the conditions that your dinner should be eatable. It means your dinner should be delicious. So Casca gave him three conditions. First, if I stay alive tomorrow. Next, if your opinion remains same the next day, and if your dinner is good enough for eating, then I will come tomorrow and have dinner with you. Cassius, good, I will expect you. So Cassius said, okay, so I would expect that you would come tomorrow. Casca, do so, farewell both. Casca then bade farewell and went away from there. Now he exits. He took an exit from the stage. Now, Brutus, what a blunt fellow is this grown to be. He was quick metal when he went to school. Brutus is saying about Casca that Casca has become such a foolish man. He was not such foolish when he was in his school days. Here, blunt means sharp, and sharp means foolish in this context. So he says that he was a smart fellow when he was in school days. Here, quick metal means smart person. So he was smart, but in the present time, he has become a blunt person, a foolish person. Cassius, so is he now in execution of any bold or noble enterprise. However, he puts on this tardy form. Casca is saying that yes, he is such a peculiar person, because when he takes a noble work to do, when he takes over some noble work, he becomes a smart person. He comes into his original self and he acts like a smart person. And that's the time when he originally comes to his original form. This rudeness is a sauce to his good wit, which gives men stomach to digest his words with better appetite. So, he's saying that he is rude, and his rudeness is actually his wisdom. His wisdom becomes digestible, means people like his rudeness only because this is suitable to his attitudes. Brutus, and so it is. For this time I will leave you. Tomorrow, if you please to speak with me, I will come home to you. Brutus, Now Brutus is saying, okay, so let us leave now, and tomorrow, if you wish to talk to me, I can come to your home, or if you will, come home to me and I will wait for you. And if you wish, you can also come to my house, I will be waiting for you. Cassius, I will do so. Till then, think of the world. So now Cassius said, okay, so I will do so. I will come to your house. So we are going to meet tomorrow. By the time, think of the world. Think for the betterment of Rome. Now Brutus exits. Cassius is talking to himself only. He is talking to himself. He is imagining something. Now let's see. Well, Brutus, thou art noble. He is talking to himself and he is saying, Brutus, you are a noble man. You are a respected person. Yet I see thy honorable metal may be wrought from that it is disposed. And you are a very good man, but your nobility, your greatness can be manipulated. Here rout means altered, means can be manipulated. Therefore it is meet that noble minds keep ever with their likes, and that is why it is said that noble people means good people should always stay with the company of good people. When a bad person comes in contact of a good person, there is a chance that he becomes good. But if the good person comes in contact with a bad person, then there is a high chance that the good person can become wrong, and that can happen. Cassius is saying to himself. Actually, Cassius is trying to manipulate Brutus. Cassius is trying to convince Brutus that Caesar is a harm for Rome and Caesar will bring dictatorship in Rome. So it is obvious that Caesar must be killed. For who so firm that cannot be seduced? Caesar doth bear me hard, but he loves Brutus. There is no one in the world who cannot be manipulated. And I know that Caesar doth bear me hard. Caesar does not like me. We read in the previous portion that Julius Caesar was talking to Mark Antony about the mischievousness of Cassius. That is why Cassius is saying that Brutus does not like me. But he loves Brutus. But Brutus is a good friend of Julius Caesar. If I were Brutus now and he were Cassius, he should not humor me. Now, if I were Brutus, means Cassius is saying, if I would be in place of Brutus and Brutus would be in place of Cassius, I would never come into the trap of this man. That means Cassius is saying that as I am taking him in my trap, similarly, if I would have been in his place, I would not fall into the trap of this man. I will this night in several hands in at his window through as if they came from several citizens, writing all tending to the great opinion that Rome holds of his name, wherein obscurely Caesar's ambition shall be glanced at after, and after this let Caesar seat him sure, for he will shake him or Or's days endure. So he is saying, tonight I will write several letters, and all these letters I will write in different handwritings, and I will throw them into the window of Brutus, and I will write how the citizen of Rome want Brutus as their leader. They do not like Julius Caesar, and thus he will be convinced that Julius Caesar is a harm to the Roman peoples, and thus he will take care. He will arrange some issues, the matters that will bring bad days for Julius Caesar. Julius Caesar will start suffering, will start living in his bad days. He will not be the leader anymore. He will start living in his bad days. That's where Act 1, Scene 2 is coming to an end. So that's it, my dear viewers. We have come to an end of Act 1, Scene 2. Thank you for watching the video, and thank you. Bye.